Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, and we're going to have a homeless guy on right now, and I think you'll see why I'm saying that. Ryan Hundt is joining us, CEO of the Michigan Works Association. What was my first question? Did you get thrown out of the house again?
It was off camera. It was. I'm just in the mobile office today in between meetings, Chris.
Yeah, and you have a fair amount of meetings in your day, I know.
We do. Yes, we do like to keep busy. That's for sure.
Well, and 2026 has just started off, but some things are already happening. What's going on with Michigan Works?
Yeah, we just got done with our 2026 Michigan Works Advocacy Day. So we had representatives from all 16 local Michigan Works agencies, many of their workforce board members, several of which are private sector business leaders, CEOs, presidents, human resources executives, joined us in Lansing last Wednesday for the Advocacy Day, where we were meeting with lawmakers and staffers to discuss our 2026 legislative priorities, which is very important right now because the House and the Senate are working on their budget recommendations for fiscal year 27. The governor has released her executive budget recommendations about a month ago. So the timing is really important for us to come together collectively in Lansing and advocate for our key policy positions that we feel will benefit the job seekers and the employers around the state.
It's interesting, Ryan, because our most recent Michigan Future Business Index that Sinair sponsors came back with a real interesting thing. Nobody's hiring. They're pulling in their tentacles. Nobody's think because of the uncertainties. But the number one issue is still talent.
Mm-hmm.
That means they're not expanding, but they still need good people. And
Right.
and the question would be in your advocacy day, did you find out if legislators are in touch with that issue?
I think they are becoming more in touch with it. I mean, you see reports like you had just mentioned, Chris. I know that the Fed came out yesterday during, holding rates steady where they are currently, and they had mentioned there was, minimal to no job growth with some of the revisions from the Bureau of Labor Statistics over the past year. So I do think it is a growing concern that we have seen a lack of job growth over the past year across the country, not just in Michigan, but they are becoming more in tune. And as we've seen in previous iterations of the same dynamics taking place around the country, even though job growth may be slowing, talent is still one of the top issues for businesses. Right now, I think it's really about retaining employees, but also giving employees the opportunity to upskill and train in some of the high demand, high growth careers. And that way, companies can help boost their own productivity, but they can also retain key employees so that when they do get into a position for future job growth, they will already be ahead of the curve when it comes to that dynamic.
Okay, super. Well, listen, before you know it, your annual meeting and your impact awards are going to be coming around. Tell us about that. That's a wonderful day, by the way.
Yeah, and Chris, it's always wonderful, especially when we have you MC the Impact Awards. Our Impact Awards is a great celebration of our 16 local Michigan Works agencies, their staff, but really the businesses and the job seekers that have utilized Michigan services over the past year. And so we have each of the 16 Michigan Works agencies. They nominate an employer or a community partner or a job seeker that has really been a spotlight, been a showcase for the local regions in terms of partnering with Michigan Works and allowing Michigan Works the opportunity to give them better access to training, better access to other opportunities for expanding their skill sets. And it's a great way for us to showcase that to lawmakers and to other community partners that might be there in Lansing joining us for the Impact Awards each and every day.
Those awards, they become very poignant and very emotional, and there's some awesome stories. Do you have any previews maybe of that upcoming
Yeah,
event?
yeah, certainly. There's several shining examples that we could point to that are coming up for our 2026 Impact Awards. One of the individuals who will be recognized is a former veteran who went through a U.S. DOL registered apprenticeship that was paid for primarily by the employer, but they were also able to get some upskilling opportunities and some training dollars directly from their local Michigan Works agency. So those types of stories are the ones that we plan on lifting up our impact awards this year, just like we've done every single year that we host the event in Lansing.
It's amazing. So it is in Lansing again. What's the date? And tell me who it's open to.
Yes, so the date is Wednesday, April 8th. We'll be there at Heritage Hall inside the state capitol from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. We have invites going out to all of our lawmakers. I know that they will be on spring break that week, but we are inviting them and their staffers to join us, especially ones that have Impact Award honorees from their legislative district. Oftentimes, the legislators stop by with tributes. They can do photo op opportunities with the award winners as well. But we'll also have our Michigan Works directors and many of their staff members and family members from the award winners who will be joining us in Lansing that day.
I don't want to put you on the spot, and I know you navigate well through the legislature here in Michigan. You also have to go to DC, and I mean, when I have to, that's how I feel about it. Are you feeling you can navigate through that? Is there so much uncertainty, nothing can get done?
There is, I would say, a bit of slow progress in Washington, D.C. right now as it relates to workforce development. Again, there's many issues that are partisan in nature. They have disagreements on large policy scales that make it difficult to gain any traction on key workforce development legislation. But we do have a great Michigan congressional delegation made up of both Democrats and Republicans that are well aware of the workforce development issues. We have a lot of really productive conversations with both Democrats and Republicans and their staffers. And so they are, at the very least, well informed on where we stand in regards to workforce development policy. I hope that eventually that translates into action at the legislative level. Maybe difficult in 2026 with an election year, but we are at least laying the groundwork for continued conversation, future policy movement in Washington, D.C. And I think the same can also be said for Lansing.
Well, keep hammering away. We need what you're doing. That's for sure.
Yep. Thank you.
Ryan Hundt, CEO of the Michigan Works Association, headquartered here in Lansing, Michigan. You have been watching this interview on the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman. We'll be back with more.